Welcome back. It is Tuesday, so that means we get to check in with the Unconventional Dietitian, Daphne Olivier. She joins us virtually right now. Daphne, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, last week we talked about hunger and cravings, and today we're kind of continuing that conversation, kind of focusing on those cravings. So what do our friends at home need to know?
So sometimes it's hard to discern the difference between hunger and a craving.
Yeah.
So just to kind of recap last week, cravings, we talked about the where you'll get, hunger comes in waves where you'll feel hunger. And then if you leave it alone in your mind, it'll go away. Whereas a craving is usually kind of nagging. It doesn't fully go away. It just always sits there. And so there are three things that you can do to essentially kind of tamp down some of the cravings. One is to sleep. So
Okay.
it sounds crazy, but if you are underslept, if you're like slightly tired, it will cause you to crave things like sugar specifically and caffeine, because both of those will innately kind of give you a little boost of
Yeah.
energy. So sleep is really, really important whenever we're talking about cravings. The other one is thirst. So if you're staying well hydrated, in your brain, your thirst and your hunger mechanisms are very closely together and they can get confused. So staying hydrated, making sure we've talked about this extensively, getting plenty of fluids, that can also help to decrease cravings. But we've always given to our cravings
Yeah.
to some extent. So when you decide, okay, I'm going in for it, it's really important to make sure that you savor and enjoy and appreciate the food that you're craving. So there's an element called mindless eating or mindful eating. And mindful eating, it means that whenever you have that piece of candy or that donut or whatever, that you sit and you really appreciate and this sounds kind of crazy, but you appreciate what it smells like, what it tastes like, and you really enjoy the food rather than feeling kind of shame or guilt around eating something that you were craving.
Yeah, and I love that too. That's a really good mindset to kind of hold on to, especially with those cravings. And going back to sleep, I didn't realize that sleep could play a huge factor in those cravings.
Huge factor. And most people are chronically slightly tired.
Yeah.
We're always a little bit tired. And that's where I think the dangerous part is.
I understand that. And Daphne, if people at home want to contact you, how can they?
You can find me on my website, theunconventionaldietitian.com, or through Facebook or Instagram, both at The Unconventional Dietitian.
As always, Daphne, thank you so much for joining us virtually each and every Tuesday.
Of course, thank you.
If you at home want to rewatch this, KDN.com, but let's check in with Adam Olivier.